Welcome everybody to another edition of W 2006 here in TW 2020 as we're continuing after Superbrawl on to the road to our next pay-per-view, and it'll be a Nitro-only pay-per-view, and Nitro itself from the Giant Center in Hershey, PA starts out with Superbrawl highlights, of course focusing on the big tag match between Toland and Tomko versus Anderson and Truth, Nikita Colt retaining the women's title, Brother Ray defeating Lance Storm but still being pissed, Alex Wright, of course, using some very, questionable tactics to get the win over Bill Goldberg. And then, this little highlight, package, courtesy of WC Magazine, you're probably WC.com by now, ends, and then Chosen One hits, and out comes the loser of the main event at the pay-per-view, Jeff Jarrett. And he comes out to the ring to a big heel response. And he's pissed. Simply Johnny Devine is beside him, but he is very, very upset. And he says, "Last night at Superbrawl, I was robbed. The Chosen One should be here standing as your WCW World Champion. But instead, that slapnuts AJ Styles managed to get out there with my title. You didn't beat me, AJ. You stole that victory from me. I'm Chosen One. Everyone here knows that WCW World title should be around mine. Should be around my waist. I should be standing here. And I demand another shot at my title tonight. Because I am the Chosen One. I will stand here until justice is served, till that belt is mine. Because nobody can deny I'm the Chosen One and World Champion of Wrestling. I don't care what any of you slapnuts think. I don't care what Eric Bischoff thinks. AJ Styles should out here like a man and hand that title over to me." Of course, he's a delusional heel, so of course none of that actually happened, but hey, he's Jeff Jarrett, and after a moment, AJ Styles' music does not hit, but instead, Booker's music hits. To a big pop as the one half of the World Tag Team Champions comes out with Shelton Benjamin down to the ring, and Jarrett's confused, and Booker has the mic and he says, Jeff Secca, why do you always gotta be a little whining, complaining bitch?" Big pop for using the profanity. You had your shot at Superbrawl and you lost, man. You got in the ring and AJ Styles put you down in the ground. But that's what you've always done, Jeff. Every single time, even after I kicked your ass, you whined and complained, but the reality is now you don't have anybody backing you up, so you have to actually back it up the ring. And last night, Superbrawl, you failed at that. So why don't you move on and let somebody else who's worthy have a chance at that championship? Secca. And Jarrett fights back. Booker T, you of all people should know what I'm capable of. We've had our battles in the past over that title. And you better be reminded that I came out on top more than once. But hey, Booker, you know what? You're right. Bischoff, Styles, they're not going to be another chance at that title. But that tag team gold is looking pretty tempting to the Chosen One and my backup, Simply Johnny Devine. So maybe I should go after you and remind you why I kicked your ass so many times over and over again. Slap nuts. And Booker's like, Jeff, you're thinking to jump from one title to the next? It doesn't work that way, man. You gotta earn your shots. And right now, it looks like you're at the back of the line. Big pop for that. And, Jarrett fires back. Well, I could kick your ass right in the middle of this ring and get right to the front of the line, couldn't I, Booker? I could get in that ring. Right here in this ring, I could show you just how much stroke I have. Big pop for that. And then, big heel pop for that. And then as Booker's about to say something, Ken Anderson's music hits to a big pop as, Anderson comes out of the ring and says, wait. Jeff, once again, you're out here crying like a little baby about what's your own damn fault. And Booker, you're doing the right thing, putting this SOB in his place. But Jeff, I couldn't overhear you thinking you deserve a shot at another title just because of who you think you are. But, you know what I think? I think you deserve an ass kicking. Big pop for that. What I'm saying here is, Jarrett, if you want to start any title, you better beat me. Because, I just might be an asshole, but I can kick your ass any day of the damn week. And like Jarrett's about to say something, when Tank Toland music hits, and of course, the man who attacked Anderson has been in a feud with him for the past couple weeks. out comes, Toland. He says, wait. Anderson, you've forgotten something. You still haven't defeated the sexiest and smartest man in WCW. Last night, Ken, you and I tore it up, and we brought to the back. But your team lost. The Truth got pinned by my backup, TItus Tomko, and we've had a very fruitful partnership that is now over. But, Anderson, I'm not done with you. So, Jarrett, Devine, you want a partner? There's nobody better on Nitro than me. And Jarrett's like, Toland, I like your style, kid. You have the guts, you have the brains, you're on. The chosen few could use a man like you tonight. And, the arguments continue, and eventually a six-man man is made for later tonight of Booker T and Shelton, and Anderson versus Jarrett, Devine, and Toland. So this gets an 83 because I rated Toland completely, which, isn't the end of the world, but a little disappointing. But, nothing there. Also, I didn't script it, so he rolled badly on dialogue. So this could have been like mid to high 80s. Not the end of the world, though. And then we have our opening match, I think, or not. Right, we have our opening match, which is a big match, as, of course, Jamie Noble fought, Sydal fought WCW World TV Champion Jamie Noble to a draw a couple weeks ago, and now he gets his rematch. And again, it's back and forth, and Noble is taking him down to the mat, so trying to slow things down, but Sydal is getting his spots in, and eventually he's hitting a few big spots in a row, but Noble, basically blatantly cheats to take advantage, and then out comes Jeffrey Jr., who's been helping out Sydal the past couple weeks, and of course has his own run-in with Noble. He gets up on, he's at ringside. Noble, gets distracted, and that allows Sydal to come from nowhere, hit a springboard credit on him, and quickly go up top and hit a shooting star press for the 1, 2, 3, and a shocking victory. Beat Jamie Noble to become your new World Television Champion. This gets an 80, a little under 9 minutes. Sydal gets a 62. Noble gets an 85. And post-match, Sydal and Rey Mysterio Jr. celebrates as Noble stews. And, the crowd pops as, looks like Sydal is your new TV champion. And we'll see how he does as that champion. This gets a 70. Fun stuff. And then we go backstage where Eric Bischoff is in his office, and in comes the Truth, who, does his, fun little rap, talks about being screwed last night by Tomko at Superbrawl, and he wants a match in the ring, a singles match versus Tomko to show him what the Truth is all about. Bischoff, says he agrees, and, he'll talk to Tomko, and if he agrees, it'll be a match right here next week on Nitro. So this gets an 83. Good stuff. Truth and Bischoff just do well as we continue this feud. And then we go backstage where, it's a Lance Storm promo. What can you do? As Jerry Rush is Lance Storm, and, Bora asks him, tonight he's facing Alex Wright, who controversially took out Goldberg at Superbrawl. What are your thoughts, basically facing Wright in that match? And Lance Storm is like, Jeremy, if I can be serious for a moment here, I'm Lance Storm. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I learned at the Heart Dungeon from the best, and I'm a multiple-time tag champion. I'm not no babe in the woods getting that ring with Wright. But I came here to Nitro to take a new leaf, to prove that wrestling is all about competition, about proving who is the best in that ring. And Alex Wright, you took the low road in taking out Goldberg last night. But tonight, you're not facing him, and I'm not Goldberg. I built my career on discipline, on technical skill, and on the respect in that ring. Tonight, I'm going to show you what happens when you get in the ring with somebody who can wrestle just as well as you, if not better. I will reverse any hold, I will get out of the submission, and at the end of the day, when you're in the Canadian Belief, there'll be no way out for you. You need to be prepared for anything, right? I faced all types of opponents throughout my career. I've dealt with it all, and I have always done the best to come out on top. And right, you're a talented wrestler, but you're not Lance Storm. And tonight, I'm going to prove that right in the middle of that damn ring. So decent promo. Unfortunately, Lance Storm, please not the best. 69. Not the end of the world, though. As we move forward to the, and then we have a fun little thing. As, basically set up in the past couple weeks, it's the Nest versus Evolution. As Evolution is coming out of the ring, in comes the Nest from behind, starting the match and the brawl right from the start. As this gets a 54. I'm turning him heel because I forgot to do previously. And then we're off to the actual match. And it's a wild match as you expect. Flair's at ringside trying to help things out. Morgan's then distracting, both Cesaro and Lashley. Flair gets involved. There's a bit, Morgan runs away. Flair gets distracted because it's a woman. Raven and Prophet take advantage. Slowly beating down, but there's a hot tag to Lashley who gets to throw Raven and Prophet around. But eventually Claudio's the legal man. Things go wild. Lashley and Prophet actually brawl to the back. Lashley gets a big spear on Prophet in the ringside area, but a chair gets put in by Morgan after she gets Flair basically distracted enough that he can't help out. And then Raven grabs Cesaro, DDT right on the chair. 1, 2, 3, and a tainted win for the Prophet and Raven over Evolution here on Nitro. As this gets a 65, Raven gets a 72, Prophet gets a 42, Lashley gets a 39, and Cesaro gets a 64. And the heels, and then post-match, it's a beatdown on both men. Flair tries to make the save, but it's 2-on-1, and he gets laid out as well, as, Raven does his pose, and the crowd boos as the Nest seems to be fully on the heel side of things and fully wanting to take control of the tag division. As this gets, post-match gets a little bit of 67. So good stuff, undercard. And then, we cut to a, basically a random alley, and we see Brother Ray, with a intense look of determination, frustration, and he says, I've been walking these streets, thinking, reflecting on what's been going on. You see, Eddy Guerrero, you got out of that match at Superbrawl, where I was going to get my revenge and prove right where I belong at the top of the card. Because I've been disrespected, overlooked, and it's about time I put an end to it. Eddy, I know you're cleared next week. You can't have behind the doctors anymore. But next week, I get to prove what I was supposed to show you at Superbrawl. Now I'm itching for a fight. So Guerrero, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. You talk about Guerrero family values. Well, my values are to fight in the street and the battle. Next week, I don't want a match. I want a street fight. You think you're tough? You think you can lie, cheat, and steal your way to victory? We haven't seen anything yet. I'm a legend of Extreme. I'm dragging you into my environment, my world, my match, where the only rule, Guerrero, is survival. I've been barbed wire, I've gone through tables, I've been hit with chairs, and every other weapon you can think of, and I've dished it out. I've bled, I've suffered, and every time, I've survived. So Eddy, if you think you can handle that, if you think you're man enough to step into the alley with me, then accept that challenge right here next week on Nitro. This is about just winning a match, Guerrero. This is personal. This is about respect. I'm going to beat that respect into you if the last thing I do. I'm tired of being the nice guy, the team player, so I remind everybody why I'm the most feared man in this business and what I've done in the past to earn that respect. I'm coming for you. I won't stop until you learn the hard way. You don't mess with Brother Ray. This is my world. You're just living with it, and I will be the survivor once again. So Eddy basically throwing out a challenge to, Eddy Guerrero for a street fight next week, right here on Nitro. And that gets an 87. Good stuff. And then we get a sort of like next segment as we have a, random female wrestler in the ring, local wrestler, and we get some like old-timey music, like 50s doo-wop style, or I guess maybe a little farther, whatever. And out comes Penny Grable, aka Cherry, aka Carrie Slice, and she comes down to the ring, dressed like traditionally, like, women's wrestlers in the 50s were dressed, like, that total look with the 50s look. And she gets the mic and she says, I'm here to bring tradition and respect back to women's wrestling. No more harlots, no more sleazebags, no more women of ill repute. I'll bring you true classic wrestling the way it should be right here in this ring. And this will be just an exhibition of my talent. So every woman in the back can either see what the true gender role of women in wrestling should be, or they will be my enemy. 50, not great, not terrible either, as she's getting over. And then we have basically a complete squash match as Penny Grable defeats Tina San Antonio, who's a local worker, in 5 minutes with the gender role. So what this is basically like, Grable tosses Antonio around like little snapmares, hair pulls, basic slams. But after a couple of minutes, she actually does some more normal moves, big lariat, a suplex, and then eventually she throws, our jobber of the evening into the corner, and then she hits him with a chaos theory, based that Williams move where he rolls through a throwing reverse cradle and hits a backdrop driver, which the announcers call a gender roll. Yeah, that's a terrible name, but what can you do? And she drills it and gets the pinfall victory over Tina Antonio here on Nitro. This gets a 27. Grable gets a 48. This gets a jobber gets a 13. Decent little debut from Grable. And post match, she celebrates to the boos of the crowd, which gets a 41. Gotta build people after all. And then we cut backstage where Jerry Barash is with TItus Tomko. And, Barash comes about the challenge from the truth. And Tomko basically blows it off, says, I beat the truth right in the middle of the ring. And I showed what tight Tomko protection she can do for any wrestler who has the cash to help them, to have me back them up. And then Barash says, well, he's been told by Eric Bischoff that if he steps the match for the truth next week, it'll be a match for a U.S. title shot at the next pay-per-view. Tomko looks down and says, fine. I'll kick Truth's ass again, and then I'll show everyone just what TItus Tomko is all about. So 71, decent promo. Basically putting over that it's going to be Tomko versus Truth next week here on Nitro. And then we have a very interesting promo as we get we basically cut to a sort of dimly lit random location, just sort of bleak darkness, where Jonathan Toro is there sitting, a look of frustration on his face as he sort of takes off a a bag, and he basically confused says, what the hell is going on here? A bunch of guys said if I wanted to change, I'd come here. And here I am. So what the hell is going on? And then we hear a mysterious female voice. Well, not so mysterious if you look at the screen, but we're building that. And it says, Jonathan Toro, once a leader, now a shadow of your former glory. Your Roman Empire has crumbled to dust, and your conquests have turned to defeats. And like Brother Ray, Lance Storm, Ken Anderson, and even Mr. Jr. have defeated. You've lost your way, Jonathan, but I see the potential that still burns with you for a brighter future. Whereas what the hell? What's going on? Who the hell are you? I'm someone who understands you, Toro. Someone who sees the untapped darkness within you, waiting to be on a leash. You've been trying to find your path in the light, but it's in the shadows where your true power lies. Your failures are not an end, but a beginning, a chance to rise from the ashes, stronger and more affordable from before, but you cannot do it alone. You need guidance, a new direction. I can offer you that path. They're again, who the hell are you? I'm a leader of an empire, so you should tell me who I am. And she's and the female voice says, your empire is gone, but I still see the warrior you can be. You're a fighter, Jonathan, but you've been fighting with the wrong weapons. You need to be shown the way. Let me guide you to harness what's within you and become unstoppable. We can reshape your lost destiny. I want your commitment to embrace what I say, to let go of your past failures and your past wants and needs, and step into a new era. You can instill fear and command respect, but only if you do what I say and follow what I say. You have a chance to rise again, Jonathan, to become the true force you were always meant to be. Jorah's I need to rise once again, no matter the cost. And the female voice lets out a soft sighs less as the scene fades to black. And this gets a 50 because I rated more, the mysterious female voice who should be connected to. But, again, we're building stuff. And then we have our next promo as Nikita Small's music hits as your women's world champion who defeated Tricia Sky and Lacey Dumas last night at Superbrawl comes out of the ring. And she says, last night at Superbrawl, I proved once again why I am the dominant force in the women's division today. Lacey Dumas, Tricia Sky, two of the supposed best competitors in this industry, and yet they both fell for me. I'm not a champion. I am the epitome of what a champion looks like in this business. There's no one on this roster, no one in this division, nowhere in this sport who can match my strength, my skill, and my ability in that ring. I am the WCW Women's World Champion, and I will be that for as long as I desire. Frauleins. And as Nikita about to speak, Johnny Lawler meets the kicks to a big pop as, the former Women's Champion, who has not been seen since the 4-way ladder match at Starrcade, comes out. And she comes into the ring facing Colt to a big pop, and she says, Nikita, you standing here talking about dominance, about being the best, but you seem to forget who I am. I am Johnny Lawler, the next evolution of women's wrestling. You made champion for now, but your reign is about to face its biggest challenge yet. And, Colt sort of sneers and says, Lawler, you're once formidable, I admit. But this is now, and the landscape has changed. I hold this gold, and I've dominated everyone who stepped in front of me. You're just a shadow of a past of this business trying to claim for more glory. If you think you can step up to me, you are sorely mistaken. And Johnny fires back. Nikita, I'm more than you can handle. There's no shadow, there's only future glory. I've been watching and waiting for the right moment to come back here and claim what is going to be mine. And you, with title, you just put a target on your back. I'm ready to remind everybody, including you and the world watching, what I can do in that ring. And then Nikita ends by saying, "You can try, Johnny, but understand this: I'm not just any champion. I'm not Trisha. I'm not Dumas. I'm not Kim. I'm a force of nature in the ring. Anything you need to throw me, you're in for a rude awakening. I welcome your challenge. Be prepared for just be another name on a list of those I've conquered over and over again, Fraulein." And we had a big stare down. It seems like Colt has her next challenge, as this gets an 81. And then we have Alex Wright versus Lance Storm. And this is a very, back and forth match. Storm gets his spots in because he's Lance Storm. He has a solid wrestler. Wright, gets to fight back, with his own technical skill. But Storm seems to have the advantage, actually reversing holds from Wright and, powering out of moves. And even hits a big super kick and locks in the Canadian Maple Leaf. But Wright gets to the ropes. And, as he takes a big shot, Wright loosens one of the turnbuckles, and in the process of some further, big moves, including a Rana from Storm, turning into another Canadian Maple Leaf that Wright powers out of, that turnbuckle falls off, and then, Storm is rushing after Wright. Wright nails him with a hot shot that leads into, him nailing his head on that now exposed turnbuckle. Wright nails him with a big German suplex and then picks him up, single arm DDT. 1, 2, 3. Another big victory for Alex Wright, a night after taking out Bill Goldberg. As it gets an 84, Wright gets an 86, Storm gets a 75. Match got the crowd hotter. But post-match, Wright, Storm is down, and Wright goes outside, and he gets that chair again. But just what it looks like he's about to do, telling Storm what he's done to Bill Goldberg. AJ Styles music hits, and out comes your WCW World Champion coming out to make the save. Wright gets out of the ring, and AJ Styles picks up the mic and says, Wright, you think you can take out anybody you please. You think you can just get in this ring and cause chaos and destruction wherever you go. But that's not how it's done. See, Wright, I saw you come out after I beat Jarrett last night, staring me down. I know what that means. You want a shot at this as he holds up the title. There's a world championship, the most important prize in the sport. Well, that's fine by me. Big pop. See, Wright, I am the face that runs this place. I'm the WCW World Champion, and I don't have to let somebody like you run rampant trying to take out the competition. You want a title match, Wright? You want a title match, Alex? Fine, you got it. You beat Goldberg with a lot of help, but you beat him. But let me make one thing crystal clear, Alex. Your cheap shots, your attacks, they're not going to work this time around. You may be Wunderbar, right? But there's a reason why they call me phenomenal. I faced in the best in this business over and over again. I'm going to come out on the top. And I've proven time and time again why I deserve this title and why I deserve to be the top guy in WCW. So show up, get your title shot. You're going to remind me of one thing. Why I'm the best in the business. Why I'm the WCW World Champion. And I'll show you why I'm phenomenal. Stare down. It seems like we have our main event for the next pay-per-view as this gets an 84. Oh, right, yeah. And then we have our main event, which gets an 84. Interesting, that's sort of the right spot. So this is your very typical, like, 6-man, main event. Shelton gets to look good against Devine. Jarrett and Shelton have a little bit of a spot fest. Toland does some heel shenanigans. Booker T gets to Booker T. Eventually, things break down to a big brawl. Anderson and Toland fight to the top of the ramp, and that's just enough distraction for Devine to come in with a low blow and a Divine intervention on Booker T, which allows Jarrett to come in as legal man, hit a stroke, and get a pinfall over one half of the WCW World Tag Team Champions right here on Nitro. As again, this gets an 84. Anderson gets an 81. Shelton gets a 84. Booker gets a 72 because he's injured. Devine gets a 68. Jarrett gets a 90. And Toland gets a 71. Big moment here. As post-match, Anderson and Toland continue to brawl up to the top of the ramp, through the backstage area as the cameras follow them, all the way out into the parking lot as Nitro ends. As the announcer's put over, this is far from over, as this gets an 81. Oof, I didn't have any, okay, 84. So not quite what I wanted, but not the end of the world either. Sort of like a build-up show, only had one really good angle, and I get my usual random 100 for something, but yeah, not the end of the world here. But yeah, good stuff. Sort of we see where we're going, Styles right. Prop chosen TEW versus Booker and Shelton. Anderson Toland following, but we also big matches. Truth versus Tomko next week on Nitro, along with Brother Ray versus Eddy, and probably a street fight, as long as Eddy, of course, agrees, and lots of other fun stuff. As this loads up, and we look at a random Japanese guy. He's not very good. Man. Downside of a huge database like this is it takes forever to load at this point. Oh, man. It's still loading. Jesus Christ. You can probably jump forward 30 seconds. Here we go. Okay, so... Alright, yeah. Naomi, Eddy's back. So... We got a 2.10. Makes sense. Raw got... Okay, they're still in Japan. Okay, so... Juvi Juice and TNA defeated Viscera, Sandman, and Maven, who are sort of the mid-card tag team. We had Batista promo, Big Show promo, Crash Holly defeated Rick Steiner, Batista defeated Ron Waterman, Big Show defeated Charlie Haas, Mike Holly defeated Best Fiend by DQ in 81, Vampiro defeats Steve Richards, and the main event is sort of the build to, I guess, WrestleMania continues. Jericho defeats CM Punk in a cage match, which got a random 99, because of course it did. Fun stuff. Alright, Akira Kajan is out injured with a ankle ligament damage. He's out for 6 months. Judy Fleisch is injured. Oof, that's too bad for him. That is quite unfortunate for him. Anyway, though, I'll be back in just a moment with Revolution. Welcome everybody to Revolution, and Revolution starts out with, of course, Rob Van Dam along with Paul Heyman coming out of the ring, even though I forgot to put Paul Heyman in the segment here. Heyman takes mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm the advocate for the man who survived the wildcard tag team match at Superbrawl and will be your next number one contender to the WCW World Championship, which he is going to win back. The one, the only, Mr. Wednesday Night, the number one draw in professional wrestling today. The whole effing show, Rob Van Dam." RVD points to himself. If Van Dam gets 90% boos, it's 10% cheers because, people love RVD. And Heyman continues, "Last night, RVD showed the world why he's a top star in WCW, why he's the main attraction, the show stealer, the man who defines excellence in the ring. And let's make one thing perfectly clear. Sean Hare, you may have survived with Van Dam, but don't get any ideas. The spotlight belongs to my client, and my client alone, RVD." RVD points to himself, and, RVD takes me and says, "That's right, man. Sean Hare, you're just lucky to be in the same ring as me, and for me to drag you to that win. So let's not forget who the real star is. I'm RVD. This is my ring. This is my show. And next week, I'm going to remind everybody why I'm the whole effing show, man." Big pop as O'Hare's music comes out, and he comes out to the ring, and he says, "Van Dam, Heyman, you forgot one little thing. Let's not get things twisted. I'm former world champion too, and I just going to survive Superbrawl. I helped you get that victory. So next week on Revolution, RVD, you and I are getting in that ring and figure out who gets a title shot at Wrestle War. But trust me, I'm not stepping aside for anybody, Van Dam. And Heyman's like, Sean, you so you can forget what you're dealing with. RVD is Mr. Wednesday Night. He is Mr. Pay-Per-View. He's a pure athlete in WCW. He's the number one attraction on the show. He's a leader of Revolution. Now you're a former competitor, O'Hare, a former champion, like you said. But let's be honest, you're not Raw Van Dam. And, RVD smirks, and O'Hare says, I don't need to be RVD. I just need to be Sean O'Hare, the future Shock. And next week, I'll prove it. But hey, Van Dam, I'm not busy tonight. Why don't you find a partner? I'll find a partner, and a main event right here in Revolution will give people a little preview of what's going to happen next week when I send you down to the mat and remind everybody why I'm the future Shock of World Championship Wrestling. And I was like, that's fine, man. I'll find myself a partner. I'll show you just what it means to be a step in the ring with RVD. You want to challenge me? You got to be prepared to be shown up by the whole effing show and whoever I find to be a partner. Bit of a stare down, and we have our main event set as this gets an 85. Fun stuff, good little segment, setting up the match for next week as we move forward. And then, ouch. Wow, I'm on an injury, thing here. Anyway, so, match set up the last couple weeks. Austin Aries takes on Chavo Jr. And Austin Aries, plays the, shady, confident heel, underneath attacking Chavo. Chavo comes back with a bit of a, babyface fire. Aries is able to actually hit the brainbuster, but Chavo's too close to the ropes and get his foot on there. He's pissed. That allows Chavo to make a comeback and eventually hit a, brainbuster of his own, go up top, frog splash, 1, 2, 3, and a big victory for Chavo Jr. over Austin Aries. As Aries has a bright future in WCW, but Chavo Jr., despite his recent setbacks, is still a former WCW World Tag Team Champion and a very tough competitor. This gets a 63, Aries gets a 55, Chavo gets a 65. Aries just needing to slip disc, so maybe he took a bad bump there. And I need to. All right. So let's do a little bit of shifts here. Yeah, Aries needing to slip disc, so he'll probably be gone a while, unfortunately. And that means the post-match angle I wanted, we get a quick celebration as with Chavo to a 53, as Aries is basically down on the mat talking to the ref. So we'll go to the back as Aries gets help to the back, unfortunately for him. And we have a interesting little segment as, we're backstage. The Thrillers, Palumbo, Jindrak, and Rain are backstage as, they're walking forward and, Angle walks by them and he bumps into him and just begins to walk away. And, Palumbo looks at him and says, well, isn't it Kurt Angle, the guy acting like he's the toughest guy in the ring, the biggest star on the show, above us all, when he hasn't actually faced any real competition so far? And he looks around and says, wait. Last time I checked, I've already defeated 2 former WCW World Champions in my first 2 matches, Chuck. That sure sounds like top competition to me. Is that not true? And, Jindrak says, being a couple of guys doesn't make you at our level, Kurt. The Thrillers are the real deal, the top of the food chain here in WCW because I'm magnificent, and Chuck's going to be a world champion soon enough again. So you haven't faced the true top of the food chain at all. Raven Reigns smirks, and he's like, if you want in the ring, I have to do it. Because it's damn true. I'm Kurt Angle. I'm a former Olympic gold medalist. And I can get out of the ring with anybody, out wrestle them, and make them tap the hell out. I came to WWE to face the best in the world, and I'm happy to do it at any time. And I was like, fine, you want to prove yourself, Kurt? How about you go one-on-one with Mark tonight? Show us what you're really made of. And if you get past him, maybe, just maybe, you'll earn a little bit of respect from me. And I was like, oh, wow. I'll earn respect from you, Chuck, a guy who got his ass kicked by AJ Styles in the main event of Starrcade and had to get a lot of help to get that far. But, fine. I'll face Jindrak tonight, and after I beat him, maybe you'll just have to think about why I'm Kurt freaking Angle and you're not. Because it's damn true in WCW, I'm here to face the best. I'll take on anyone to prove it, including the Thrillers, including you, Chuck. There's a bit of a stare down, and I guess we have a match set for later tonight. 88, good stuff as we move forward here on Revolution. And then we have a little backstage segment as Sean O'Hare is in the, in his locker room, and in comes Canyon, and, Canyon says, look, I understand you did what you had to do last night, O'Hare, but I'm not happy to team with you right now, okay? We're not all sunshine and rainbows. Because last night I wanted to prove at Superbrawl, I wanted to prove that nobody's better than Canyon, and you got in the way of that. There's like, look, it's nothing personal. I did what I had to do to get back to the top. I came this close to beating Styles at Clash of the Champions, and I know if I can win, I can win back my world title. He's like, your world title? I've been world champion. Even Van Dam's been a world champion. It's not your title. It's the title. And I'm damn sure going to prove nobody's better than Canyon. So yes, we'll team up tonight. But hey, if you win, if next week, and you beat Styles, just remember, I'll be right here waiting for you, Sean. Sean nods, and I guess we have a little bit of tension between baby faces as this gets a 78. And now we have our tag team match set up last week, between two of our lower card tag team champions, as Prince Osei and Osei Skipper still think they're on the road to get another title shot, and Jim Tan Wrestling, of course, want to make their name here. And it's a back and forth match as Osei and Skipper, do some heel tactics. Skipper flies around. Osei used, basically his bit of brawling and quick shots to take advantage, but Rossi and Santorelli work well together, hitting some big double teams. Rossi flying around, Santorelli hitting some big, power moves on the smaller men. Eventually, it looks like, it's going to be a big win for Osei and Skipper after Skipper hits a springboard Rana, but Rossi kicks out. It's back and forth, and eventually Rossi is able to turn an attempt at an overdrive into a cutter of his own. Then he quickly cradles Skipper 1, 2, 3 with the big kind of shock victory right on Revolution as Jim Tan Wrestling gets the big pinfall victory as this gets a 67, Rossi gets a 59, Santorelli gets a 47, Skipper gets a 67, Osei gets a 62. Fun stuff. And post-match, GTW celebrate as the announcers put over they might have a bright future right here on Revolution as this gets a 39. And then we cut backstage where Amy Weber is with the jet set of Cash and Jason Jett. Weber asks him about, their feud with the Hardys. And Cash says, we want to remind everybody of one thing. When we got in that ring with the Hardys, 2-on-2 with nobody else involved, we beat them. Last time it was a 6-man match, and yeah, they got the pinfall after us, but that wasn't because of them. That was because of their partner. So Jeff, Matt, you get in that ring with us one more time. And Jett says, we'll prove why we're money, why we're the future of the tag team division, and why nobody can beat us. And Cash says, and that's a damn money back guarantee. 71, decent little heel promo, setting up a future match between, the Jet Set and the Hardys one more time as this feud continues. And then, wow, okay, this was actually a really good promo. So we're backstage as Shane Helms is in Teddy Long's office, and he's like, Teddy, you gotta understand. Yeah, I lost Angle. And I admit, he got the better of me, but that was barely. And since then, what has happened? You put me against that monster Macias, and then I wasn't even on Superbrawl. Can you believe that, Teddy? The greatest UFC champion of all time, a former champion, was not even on Superbrawl. What the hell is that? Teddy's like, Playa, you gotta earn your shot on Superbrawl. And Playa, you have not earned it. Everybody has their downtimes, even the best. So get out of that ring, win matches, and prove to me, Playa, that you deserve in that ring in big matches. Otherwise, I'm not going to give special favors to anybody. I was like, that's BS. See, you're just part of the conspiracy too, Teddy. The whole time I've been WCW, people have not wanted me at the top, and I've proved them wrong every damn time. And fine, if I have to do it, I'll do it in the ring once again. And Helms turns around as Paul London, your champion, gets to office, and he says, Teddy, you want to talk to me about some special public appearance? And then he sees Helms, and there's a bit of a stare down as Helms looks at Paul London's US title with a smirk and then walks away. As this gets a 97. Fun stuff. Because Shane Helms is good, and so is Teddy Long. Then we have a big ones match. Let's see here. Why was this not as good as I wanted it to be? For gimmick consistency. Okay, I guess this should have been a little bit better. But yeah, I might have to mess with people's gimmicks. But anyway, back and forth match as Alli Danger, of course, the understudy of Gail Kim, comes in with with her brawling and fighting skills. Alexander fights back with her technical moves and suplexes. It's a back and forth match. Alli Danger has the bit of advantage. So she's going to put Alexander into the danger zone. She picks him up for a big power bomb. Alexander turns into a Rana. Both women are down. Gail Kim comes down to ringside, to sort of cheer on Alli Danger. Alexander's pissed at that, allows Danger to get advantage. But then, as Gail Kim actually picked up the kendo stick. Alli Danger has always at ringside. She picks it up, and Alli Danger is about to send Alexander into the corner, but Danger reverses it, but Gail Kim doesn't see that, so she whacks Danger in the back of the head as the ref isn't looking and isn't aware it's Danger. So she's discombobulated. Alexander picks her up. Big German suplex, hits the spinebuster of doom. 1, 2, 3, and a big victor for Alexander over Alli Danger as she continues on a roll here. This gets a 66. Alexander gets a 60. Danger gets a 43. Good stuff. And post-match, Danger is upset. She's pointing at Gail Kim. Gail Kim tries to explain what happens. And it seems this team-up of student and teacher is at its breaking point, as this gets a 68. We move forward as, RVD is backstage with Heyman, and in walks Keenan Sharp. And Keenan's like, I was told that you need a partner tonight. And Heyman's like, yes. See, Keenan, I see a bright future in this business for you on Revolution, as long as you're with the main event, the Hall of Fame show, the #1 athlete on Revolution. And Sharp's like, that's fine. I will walk the path. I will show you the correct path, Van Dam. But only, and you may be willing to walk it, even you, Heyman. And Van Dam's like, man, look, I hear a lot of wacky stuff from people who want to get high with me. But I'm my own man. I got Heyman. We can do another, no problems tonight. Sharp's like, that's fine with me. I want to get that ring and prove that Superbrawl is a fluke and I deserve to be at the top of WCW. 80, good little segment, setting up the tag match later tonight. And then we have a goofy little segment as Keith Walker is backstage, and he runs into Sonny Siaki, and Sonny Siaki is upset that he's not on Revolution, and because of people like you, Walker, giving people the impression that Sonny Siaki is like you, a bottom of a card jabroni who doesn't deserve to be on the show. And Walker's like, what the hell do you think? I kicked your ass before, Siaki, and I can do it again. Like, Sonny Siaki can't get his ass kicked by anybody. If he gets a ring and gets the opportunity, he can beat anybody. And in walks Johnny Swinger, and Swinger's like, anybody? How about this? We all go to Teddy, and next week, we get in that ring together, and we show who's really ready to rise to the top here on Revolution. Everybody agrees, and I guess we have a triple threat match next week, maybe? Who knows? 42, as these guys aren't that over, but they're getting there. And then we have Ray Lepin basically squashing D. Malenko in a couple minutes. Just like Malenko gets a little bit of spots in, but I mean, he's basically just a part-timer, doing a lot of like road agent work. And Lepin just, tosses him around. Eventually hits the finisher and gets the pinfall victory over in a little over 4 minutes. This gets a 55, Lepin gets a 71, Malenko gets a 43. And then, he takes him back and says, once again, I've shown why I'm the fastest rising star in WCW and why I will be at the top of the Revolution very soon. I will get in this ring with anybody and show my greatness and show why I am the top international star in WCW, and nobody can deny that. Decent promo, as Lepin is actually really good at promos. This gets a 76. And then Alyssa Alexander is backstage, talking to a random backstage person, and is heading, basically, out of the arena when a woman, an unknown woman, attacks her, throws her into the sort of like, wall of the arena, and continues to beat her up until WCW officials pull her off, and the announcers like sort of put over. We don't know who that is, but it seems there's a new person in the women's division here at WCW, and she's going after all that Alyssa Alexander as this gets a 37. Oof. All right, let's see here. Was this anything specifically bad or announcing low experience, angle inconsistency? Okay. But, I mean, this is basically, this is the match we expect from Kurt Angle versus Mark Jindrak in 2006, with a slightly better version of Mark Jindrak. Back and forth, Mark Jindrak gets some power moves to, keep advantage, to look good, but Angle eventually takes over, hits some suplexes, throws him around, goes for the Angle Slam at the midpoint of the match, but Jindrak blocks it. He goes for the mark of perfection, but Angle blocks that. German suplex, belly to back suplex, belly to belly suplex, Angle slam, 1, 2, 3. Angle gets the big pin victory here as he gets a 91, Jindrak 76. But as Angle is celebrating, Columbo comes in and just wallops him, and Jindrak sort of gets up with a smirk, and the 2-on-1 attack is on. And Angle tries to fight back, but it's 2-on-1 against two of the top contenders here in WCW. And then Columbo takes the mic and says, "You moron. You absolute idiot, Angle. Did you really think we were going to just let you get in the ring and fight us and be able to walk around and think, I want a gold medal. I was successful up north. I beat all sorts of men. No. This is my damn ring, Angle. This is my show. I'm the leader of the revolution. I'm Chuck Palumbo. And I run this shit. And that's bleep. So you can talk and talk about everything you've done in the past, but none of that matters. You're in WCW now, and you're about to get a lesson in respect. And the beatdown continues before those Hitchers come down and break it up. It seems that Chuck Palumbo kind of tricked Angle here and is now beat him down. But Angle, I'm sure, will be looking for revenge, as this gets a 97. Then we got our next recap, focusing on the main event, and Anderson and Toland brawling into the parking lot. And then we have our main event. Oof. Oh no. What the hell? What is my problem with injuries? Like, I did not change things. Like, the settings are the same as it was before, but every friggin' show I'm getting, like, multiple injuries now. Jesus Christ. Am I running a sloppy shot? At some point, Kane gets bonked on the head. Like, I mean, I don't want to blame it. I mean, we'll see if anybody gets blamed for it, but, yeah, the injury sort of ruined this match. Sharp gets a 92 because he's freaking great. RVD gets a 95. Logan gets a 77 because he's Sean O'Hare. And Canyon gets a 93 before he gets injured. But yeah, basically RVD pins Canyon. It's supposed to be... So, okay. I think what happened here is it's supposed to be O'Hare accidentally interfering. But actually what happens is Canyon basically like tells the ref that he is out of it. They go to the finish. Heyman interferes. RVD gets pinfall over Canyon, and this gets a 79. And yeah, RVD celebrates, and the show ends, and now I'm worried about how long Canyon will be out. This gets an 86, which isn't too bad, despite the main event. Yeah, I'm kind of worried for a moment here. I mean, Canyon might be out for a while, and that might be kind of a wrap on Canyon. His reality is, like, he's already had declining physical ability, so he was going to be, like, I mean, he's still getting 93s because he's freaking great, but being out for a long... I mean, I hope this one time where it says severe concussion, but he's out for 3 weeks, because, that's how this game works sometimes, but I'm kind of worried. So let's just see how this runs. Hey, Nani Takanishi, you're okay in the ring, but you don't have a great look. Let's see here. As this loads up. And I might have to adjust my booking. Okay, Scott Moore is your new 0-1 champion. Okay, so let's just look at the... Oh! This game. I mean, this is realistic for 2006, honestly. Severe concussion, but out for 2 weeks. Absolutely hilarious. And he can still work angles. Okay, sure. Ooh, that's not good. So Aries was going to get a couple big wins, and like there's some booking that I'm gonna have to adjust. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's still wow. Okay. Too bad for Chavo. All right, let's see here. Aries is injured. Jimmy Rave is injured. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So let's take a quick look at storylines, as I'm sort of like upset about this. So Nitro challenges everywhere is at a 70. Well, both his challenges everywhere at a 75. Against the Darkness is at a 61. Captivating Nitros at a 71. More Than a Pretty Face is at an 82. Never Nobles at a 77. New Dreams of Gold is at an 86. Proving Rounds is at a 79. Respect Needs to Be Earned is at an 84. The Right Champions at an 88. Ultimate Opportunities is at a 60. Double A's a Double A-Holes at a 66. But we're going to just, like, actually, I'm just ending this now because, like, yeah. Expanding Horizons at a 66. Mind Over Gold's at an 87. Money Men's at a 76. New Effing Shows at a 77. Throwing Angles at an 89. And Walking into War is at an 84. So there we go. If we look at the rest of the wrestling world, we had SmackDown. So pre-show, Al Snow defeated Samu. Rikishi, Hawk, and Animal defeated Chains and Little Fellas on a 68. Christian won a squash. Billy Gunn won a squash. Devin DuBois defeated Mark Henry in a battle of, well, okay. We're going to defeat Justice by DQ. I'm sure this was a fun little match for our best hit most of something. And then The Undertaker and then Gladiator defeated Scott Steiner and Kane in an 86, because that's the main event picture there on SmackDown. Fun stuff. Interesting. Oh yeah, Terry Reynolds was hired by the WWE back. I guess, yeah. She's now gone from Impact. So if you look at some our dev feds, starting with Wildside. So that TV show, Onyx Hernandez Danielson, T. Perkins, Tony Jones Suzuki. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff. Tony Jones is at a 50. I think he's been about like the last year. Kenzo's at a 60. Brian Daniels is already up to a 56. Hernandez is getting there slowly. Let's see here. Mexico's top second, Matt Morgan and Austin Creed. Morgan's at a 57. Creed's at a 53. Not bad. Stalling defeated Jimmy Rave. Rave's at a 66. And yeah, that's about it for that. Then for the weekly house show, let's see here. Creed and Perkins defeat Stallings and Major. So yeah, some people who might be on the main show eventually. Drago, Morton, Durante defeat Michaels, Hernandez, and Danielson. Yeah, some interesting stuff there. Ray Gordon, Cassarelli defeat Tony Jones and Suzuki to retain the WCW Wildside Tag Team titles. Lazarus defeat Phoenix. Yeah. Fun stuff. Then if we look at American Wrestling Queens, we have for the weekly show, Ashley Lane defeated Josie at a 32, as yeah, these both of them were getting there. Matthew Eagles and Amazing Con defeated Carly Chambers and Chicha Bakers in a 46. And Annette Blanchard, Michelle Madison Sinclair defeated Tracy Taylor, Amy Sakura, and Portia Perez in a 55. So there we go. HWA. Not much of note here. Let's see here. Yeah. And OVW. Same thing, weekly loop. Yeah, just look and see if anything's popping out. Oh, was that a title change? No, okay, that was a retaining. But yeah, Baker and St. Dragon is sort of your main event picture, sure. And then if we look around the wrestling world, that's yeah. Injuries are still on medium, so I guess we're just getting very bad luck here. Is the only thing I can think here. But yeah, okay, so let's look at events. So if we go back to Revolution last week, as I find it. Okay, so let's see here. X-Law had a big show, named by Prada Morgan versus Super Margo, and Neo Santiago versus Negro Navarro, Mr. Mexico. Nothing really much of note here. Go Shiaki is there. I think he's on a excursion. Let's see here. FIP exists. It's getting 118 people, and it's main evented by Adam Ortiz, aka former Regen, versus Scotty Riggs. Let's see here. BGW had a big show, named by Hama versus Tenru in a 55, Suzuki versus Minstio and Super Shiza, a match that would be a fun triple threat match. And that's about it. NWA UK had Wrestle Apocalypse, Matt Martin Stone versus Louis Blaine, sure. Yeah, nobody really much of note here. Tracy Kemp versus Hannah Blossom, okay. And oh yeah, so 01 had a big show. Well, actually, first WA had a big show. So let's see here. Rip Morgan versus W. Anderson was his main event. Starbuck versus Mark Helton, sure. And Horseshoe, yes. What's his name? The few more Luther Blaines. I mean, the Mighty Dope Neil are around. They're young. There we go. 01. Let's see here. Matches that people would care about here. Tom Howard v. Tomiko Hashimoto. Sure. Atsuga v. Black Buffalo. Okay. Ataka versus Tanaka in 80, Hashimoto v. Tiger Mask 4 and 75, and your new 01 heavyweight champion is Scott Norton defeated Otani in a 72. And then we had All Japan. They're still getting 18,000 people despite, look at this card. Let's see here. Naruki Doi defeated Ricky Fuji. Nunzio defeated Yuji Anjo for the AEW World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Henning defeated Yoni on the undercard as he's just finally old. The Violent Playboys defeated Jim Steele and Johnny Smith to retain the Unified Tag Champions. Hines and Barton retain the tag champions. Fuchi defeats Suwama. I mean, sure, put your like old guy over your young star. Scorpio and Hayabusa, who would have been a very fun team about 10 years prior to this, defeated Ishikawa and Dragon Kid in the best match on the show. Hiroshi Hasu defeated Takio Mori. And the main event, Taioka defeated Taru to retain the Triple Crown Championship. So, not a bad show, but yeah, they need some stars. But yeah, there we are. Yeah, sort of like, I would say like a disappointing couple of shows there. But yeah, with the injuries, I mean, Eddie's back next week, so we'll have a couple big matches as far as that goes. We're on Sacrifice as the next pay-per-view, which will be a Nitro show. And, it's going to be main event by AJ Styles versus Alex Wright, which AJ versus Alex Wright in 2006 is a pay-per-view main event, and it makes sense. How's that for an alternate universe? And some other stuff building up. But, that's it for now. If I don't have a show up for Monday, Merry Christmas. If you enjoy this, go leave a like. Comment below what you're liking and not liking, and subscribe to our channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content. And hopefully other stuff, probably after the new year. But that's for now, so talk later, and adios. Have a good one.